and we're not getting that attitude, and we're not getting that attitude out of the White House, and that's where it's got to come from.
Well, excuse me for interrupting you here, but Washington, D.C. is out of control. They wouldn't know the Constitution from a roll of toilet paper.
You're right.
And I've said this repeatedly, that the key to this thing is within the states. There was a reason why there was a conflab that was set up, a confederation, that we had states that had clear state borders. We had it broken down into counties so we could control the politics of the day. And the key to this thing is going to have to come from the states.
Amen.
But I see no state governors stepping up to the plate saying, look, these people in my state elected me governor, and I'm putting up the stop sign at my state law line because I don't like what you're doing, Fed.
Most of them are scared to death, and they don't have the anatomy to really stand up. You brought up probably the most important point here tonight. This is the United States of America. It's not the central government of America. And I believe all these different states' rights have been blown away when they started to elect senators. You know, in the old day, the state legislators appointed the 2 senators, and if they didn't vote what the state wanted, the state threw them out. And that was a hell of a lot better than it is now. Now what we have is just a federal government, a big, powerful, massive government that's in every part of our life, John. It's still the United States of America, and somebody got to give this country back to the states and the people within the respective states.
I've got a sneaking suspicion. If you had a radio show and there was a number of Ohio radio stations picking you up and you made a bid for governor, I think you might have a chance.
Well, let me just tell you this. I don't know if I have a chance to run for city limits. I don't pull any punches, but I will tell you this. I want you to listen to this very carefully because I have fun, my little speeches, etc. I know that this progressive income tax has got to be abolished. It's got to be repealed, that 16th Amendment, or America is going to literally implode.
Well,
and I do have at least a program, and I feel good about one thing. Nearly everything I've predicted has come to pass, John.
I've said this since the government has been throwing around now up to $24 trillion. And last count, I think the IRS last year took in $1.2 trillion. If they really wanted to boost the economy of the country, let's give the people at least a hiatus from the IRS, at least for 1 year. Let the people keep the money in their pocket, spend, pay their bills, their mortgages, their car payments, clothes for the kids, food on the table. Let's give the American people a break. These people have run us to the cleaners. They've popped us inside out, Jim. We're dead and dying as a nation.
John, you're touching on the right track, but that's not enough. We've got to repeal the 16th Amendment and abolish the Internal Revenue Service. And the money you make, you take home. You decide how to spend it.
Jim,
we do that. We'll have companies coming back to America, and America's borders will get straightened around. And these illegal immigrants jumping across the border, both these parties trying to seduce this big Hispanic vote, throw them the hell out. Throw them out. Let's straighten our country out and protect our borders.
Well, Lou Dobbs quit CNN, and he made his reputation off of the illegal aliens and the border and all that. He just came out, and I'm sure for political reasons, he's now pandering to the very same illegals, saying that I want to legalize you.
Well, everybody's trying to get that vote. Listen, just let me tell you something. While they're all seducing that vote, if you're an Hispanic American and you come in the right way, you're one of us. I love you. I want you. If you came in illegally, I want you to throw the hell out. Now, that's the way it is. I don't want you going to our emergency rooms. I don't want you getting our welfare system. That's the way it is, John. And, I'm the guy who passed troops on the border. And the Senate would never approve it because the Hispanics were against it. But Bush finally initiated it, put those troops on the border, and he had so much problems with the Hispanic community, they backed off. John, they could build all the bridges and they can build all the fences and all the walls they want.
What do I care if some Hispanic is bitching up a storm? He has no rights and not recognizable under law in this country. What the hell do I care what he has to say?
He should be thrown out. And I think a woman who comes across the border and has a baby the next day with just simply the intent to have her baby become an American citizen, that law should be changed. And she should be sent back home and that baby not be a
I'll
citizen.
pack her a lunch. I'll give her a little bit of money. I'll buy her a box of Pampers, but I'll say adios.
Enough
is enough.
Now.
I understand. Let's take
care of our country.
Let's take a couple more calls here. We only have about 3 minutes left.
And I'm going to have to go. You got me so worked up here.
And I was just going to ask you the question. You're 68 years old now. How much gas you still got in the tank?
Let me tell you what. I got so much gas that if I exploded, I'd go 8.8 on a Richter.
Let's go to Diane in Utah. Hello, Diane.
Hello.
Hi.
I listened to Richard DeTour's testimony, Mr. Trafficant, and after listening to that, there was no question in my mind that you were innocent and that you had been railroaded. Well, I had no doubt before that. I have heard that Patrick Buchanan said that Washington, D.C. is Israeli-occupied territory. There's also Paul Findley, and if people would read his book, They Dare to Speak Out, he lists a whole slew of people that have come under attack for saying what you have said, and I admire you 100%.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. But you see, everybody's speaking out. But are you ready for this? Nobody's getting it done. And I'm not putting them all down. Everybody's afraid to really come out strong. And when I came out strong on the Greta Von Susteren show, they brought 2 or 3 more hosts to put me on national TV trying to soften the blow, and it didn't work. And American people start calling and saying, hey, Trafficant's telling us the truth. And they're starting to call their own members of Congress and saying, we're tired. We want to hear the truth. Now, I'm not against Israel. But I'll tell you what, any country or any entity is hurting America, I'm going to oppose them, period.
Jim, we got less than 2 minutes left, and I wanted to ask you, and hell, the question just ran out of my head.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You've been doing this a long time.
17 years.
Let me say this from a fellow who's seen the other side of the one-eyed jack. I've seen the dirty laundry of this business. I want to say on your show, and one of the reasons I'm doing your show, is you provide a great service to the country. I hope that more people listen to you and more people follow your advice and counsel. Not everything maybe you say might be exactly right. Not everything I say may be exactly right. But you're not only on the right target, you got the right intentions. And you see, we need more people listening, more people interacting, and more people talking with you. So keep doing what you're doing. I just want you to know that I just had this surgery. I did this show because of you. And I'm honored to do it. I'm proud that I got a chance to do that with you. And if anything or anything I can do in the future to help in any way, I'm willing to do it. So I don't have any questions for you. The only question I have is I don't know why more people aren't listening to you.
Well, I appreciate that. Jim, I appreciate you spending this hour with us. We will talk here in the future, and I'll deliver Mr. Paul your message, sir.
Yeah, tell him I still love him. I'm very disappointed in him.
Okay.
Quite frankly, I don't think he has enough bottom to go after these people.
We'll see. Jim, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All righty.